Renfrew-Nipissing-Pembroke.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Liberals are trying to use the Fisheries Act as environmental legislation when the federal government has already protections established under the Canada Shipping Act and the Canadian Environmental Protection Act. This is the federal government creating legislation with Bill C-68 to interfere with provincial legislation as well as the constitutionally protected private property rights. Right. They slipped in a section after third reading, so we weren't able to debate it in the House. And at the Senate committee, testimony from OPG said one of the outcomes was that the city of Montreal would have been under 1 more meter of water had they not had the ability to store water in the watershed because of flooding in the Great Lakes. And furthermore, we want to know whether or not the government will try to do through regulation what they cannot do through legislation.
Minister of Fisheries and Oceans.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Certainly, simply because there is one piece of environmental legislation does not mean that that covers all of the issues that are associated with protecting our environment. This piece of legislation is about protecting fish and fish habitat. That is something that is important to Canadians from coast to coast to coast. It is something that Canadians told us very clearly in 2015 that they wanted to see change, that they wanted to see appropriate protection for fish and fish habitat. That is exactly what this bill does. We are very proud of this legislation. It has drawn broad support from coast to coast to coast across various different groups, and we are delivering on a commitment that we made to Canadians in 2015.